James Franklin said this is the best coordinator staff he's ever had. That makes sense, which is exactly that alone is the reason for them to be fired. They're horrible. If that clown is saying that about these coordinators, it makes absolute sense, and that's why they need to be let go. That was horrible.
You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back in to another episode of the Mark Lesko Podcast. Joined by Chris Gorky, and Brett will be joining us as well. Welcome in. Chris, what the heck? Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm here. Can you hear me? I'm good.
Yeah.
Everything okay? We not delayed or anything? All right.
Yeah.
I'm right.
So, yeah, man. Real quick, Jared, welcome in, man. I wasn't expecting you. But you're welcome. So
I was off work, but I was ready to go.
So, first of all, James Franklin's press conference or interview today was an absolute clown show. He showed his true colors, and he's a clown. Very low character person. We already knew that. Kirk Herbstreit asked him, what went wrong? He said, I can't answer that. We know you can't because you're a clown. So, that's like saying, me asking Jared, hey, Jared, how'd you get to work today? I can't answer that. Okay, well, you were driving. How don't you know that? He's a clown. And he said these are the best coordinators he's ever had, which is that alone right there is a reason to fire them because he is a clown. So you put in Nick Singleton on third down and you run the ball. Okay, Nick Singleton is not good. Nothing against the kid personally, but he is not good. You put him in on third down and run the ball with him, and then you don't spy the quarterback. These coordinators need to be fired. They're horrendous at their job. So we lose 25-24. Chris, go ahead.
No, I mean, I agree with you. It's the worst combination of everything. Like this year that was supposed to be so good when you think about it, it's we got two coordinators. We didn't realize how bad AK was until this year. Knowles, I knew there'd be a learning curve that he played a soft defense, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. The middle of your defense, you lost last year, Devon, and then you lost Kazai Izzard. And these guys are getting pushed around in ragdoll like these other Gilliam and Ford. And Durant's been like MIA most of the year. I mean, he just looks lost out there. He'll make a play or two, but other than that, he's lost. The linebackers, DeLuca, listen, I like the kid, but I mean, he just doesn't belong out there. It's just a mess of everything. But here's what they put Howard in. He makes a big catch. They take him out. They still won't play Denmark. So I was looking at Pena and Kyron Hudson. Listen to these totals, and you tell me why they don't play younger receivers. So versus Oregon, this is combined Trevor Pena, Kyron Hudson. Versus Oregon, 2 catches, 23 yards. UCLA, which Hudson had 0 catches. UCLA, 7 for 67. That's 2 receivers. Northwestern, 3 receptions for 15 yards. Iowa, 3 for 19. Like, this is your 2 starting receivers, these vaunted transfers. Why do you I just can't understand. There's nobody in this world could convince me that Kobe Howard and Tyser Denmark cannot give you better production. And another thing that drives me insane, like Nicky will do all this gimmicky stuff and try to do all this crafty stuff and fool you. But then on his route concepts, they are the most generic route concepts where they're just like running straight and turning around or making one little cut. You ever notice so many games of other teams where it's a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, and they run shallow crossers across the middle, whether it's 6 yards or 8 yards. They're running pick plays. When do you ever see crossers go across the middle anymore? Like, I don't see any shallow, like, crossers or even, like, intermediate 10 yards. Like, there's this – everything is receivers just running straight and turning around, making a simple cut. There's just nothing to do with scheming wide receivers open. The route concepts are horrible. The middle of the defense is horrible. How you don't spot – I called that bootleg at the end of the game. I said they're setting them up for a bootleg. I mean, they're selling out to stop the run. It's anybody can see. I mean, it's just a perfect storm of bad. That's all I got.
Chris, what did you think about go ahead, Brett.
I don't know if he heard you.
I guess not. Brett, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What'd you think of the game?
I mean, painful to watch like any other Penn State game that I've seen this year and pretty much ever. Yeah, just hard to watch, man. Brain Jackson Smolik in, dude. Like, what do we do? Whenever that started happening right away, I was like, this is not going to work, dude. It's not going to work. And he fumbled it on that one play, and luckily we got it back. But Katron Allen deserves better, like Mark said before.
Smolik is injured, Vance said. Of course he is. Of course he is, moron. Way to go, Coden Eckley, you freaking moron. God.
Smolik's injured?
Yep, that's what Vance said. Of course he is.
Yeah, because we put him in for no freaking reason, dude. Unbelievable. So, yeah, the play calling was suspect as ever, like Chris said. The route concepts are awful. Kyron Hudson's still blocking on passing plays on week 7 or whatever it is. What? Take him out, dude. Throw Kobe Howard and Tyseer Denmark in there. Like, put Matthew Odd in the truth. Right? Like, I don't care. Like, somebody else has to try because this is getting ridiculous. The defense overall, other than those 2 big runs, played pretty well, right? They played pretty well, but you can't let those big runs up, man. Not against a slow Iowa quarterback. It's just unbelievable. I thought our DBs played well. Our Ivan Kamaju, however you pronounce it, he played well. Xavier Gilliam gave us a touchdown, right? Like, which is insane. Yeah, just hard to watch. It was harder to watch on an offensive standpoint because just the play calling is why we lost. Like, we have the talent. We have Katron Allen. Grunkemeyer played pretty well overall for his first start ever on the road in Iowa. He was composed. He wasn't set up for success. He wasn't given good plays to go off of. Just a Kolonicky masterclass, man, as my title says. Kolonicky strikes again. He's the reason we lost the game. Jim Knowles wasn't great, obviously, on certain plays, but Kolonicky deserves this loss 100%. It's on him. There's no other way to put it. Giving Nick Singleton the ball, 3rd and 5, when he's had like 4 carries at this point for 2 yards a pop. Like, do the math, 2 yards a pop for 4 or 5 carries. You need 5. Is he going to get it? No. He's going to get 1 yard. Boom. End of game. Just
I just want to say this again.
No
You put Singleton in on 3rd down, who isn't good, and you run the ball after Katron has been a freaking monster all night. I mean, Andy Kolonecki, if Terry Smith fires Andy Kolonecki like this week, make him the head coach. He'll have first of all, Terry Smith is a fantastic. He's a great coach, man. He just looks like He's a great coach, and he needs all of our support. And Ethan Grunkmeyer, way better athlete than Drew Aller. No offense to Drew Aller, but he's just better, way better. He created a bunch of plays tonight. If he fires Andy Kotelnicki this week, he has even more respect for me and make him the head coach. If he fires Jim Knowles for not spying the quarterback like an absolute idiot, then he's the head coach. I mean, my God. Just absolutely pathetic. Andy Kotelnicki lost us the game. He is an absolute clown. And again, James Franklin said this is the best coordinators I've had. That alone right there should get you fired. We're going to talk. I'll get Chris's thoughts on his stupid interview today. He's an absolute clown. But Jared, what did you think about the game?
Bud, in all the years I've followed Penn State and seeing what the coaching staff has become, this has definitely new territory. I've never seen such inconsistent play calling from both sides. I mean, it's one thing for you to have your head coach do something great and your defensive
lost him. But I mean, here's the thing. This team deserves a lot of credit. Iowa just beat a team with a new coach and a new quarterback, right? They deserve a lot of credit. This whole team, these players and this head coach deserve our support, and they deserve a lot of credit. Iowa is an absolute they're not good, man. They just won by 1 to Penn State. No. And we know the situation they're in. That is atrocious. They are an atrocious poverty program. But all the credit in the world goes to this head coach and these players. I think Chris would agree with that, but
one thing I can say,
we performed way better than I thought we would. So they almost won. I mean, that right there. They deserve all the credit in the world. So
one thing I can say about Terry Smith, he coached a great game, but I hope during this bye week he tells Kotelnicki, if Kotelnicki still has a freaking job tomorrow or tonight at 11:59 p.m., if he still has a job, he's got to be like, Kotelnicki, let me get your playbook. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're not doing 90% of what you're doing because it's not working. It's garbage. It's gimmicky. You're taking the starting quarterback out to throw a cool quarterback in just to hand the ball off, which, by the way, if you're not passing with the backup QB, then it's pointless to do that anyways. There's no sense in it. Right. He needs to step up and be like, we're not doing this.
Yeah, and I think he will. And another thing is, too, Kotelnicki, you absolute freaking moron. You have our backup quarterback in the game, and now he's hurt. What did you think was going to happen? You freaking – and then on 4th and 1, they do a gimmicky tight end sneak. Why?
Terrible.
Why?
Just because it worked at USC, not on a 4th down, doesn't mean it's going to work today.
Chris, can you give your thoughts on that atrocious interview today, that absolute clown show of an interview that Franklin did?
I mean, it was typical Franklin. Just, he's up there being a politician, giving his political answers. What was the question he was asked that you talked about earlier about why you think he got fired? He said,
Kirk Herbstreit asked him straight up. He said, what happened? What went so bad? He said, I can't answer that. Okay, you're the only person that can answer that, Franklin. My God. Like, you are a clown.
I think it's hard. He's such a lost soul. Like, he's just so –
He's so delusional, man. He lied about being fired. That didn't happen that way. And another thing is, he said he was shocked. Bro, after the Oregon game, he knew he was getting fired, okay? He's a lot. I think he's a liar. I think he is. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I like, he's so trained at giving political answers. Like I said, I at NIL events, he'll sit there and take questions, and he always starts off by saying, like, what you guys paying to be here, I want to be totally honest with you. Ask me anything. When I talk to the media or anyone else, I try to say a lot without saying anything at all. So I don't know if it was some of that. But I'm just glad he's gone. Because, like, what's he going to say? Like, oh, I didn't do a good job on national television. I just think he's being a politician. But the thing was, like, somebody also asked him, would you take a different approach? Is there anything different you could do, like, next time or whatever your next head coaching? And he didn't have an answer for that. It was like, oh, I'm just going to take a deep breath. And and then he said, I'm going to be, whatever, just focus better on being 1-0. He said the 1-0 thing. I mean, the interview, it's just typical James Franklin. It's just typical political bullshit answers. I mean, I didn't give a shit either way. I mean, the guy's gone on to better things. It is what it is. But what Brett says 100% right. I don't understand, I know being a coach isn't easy, and that's the game Notre Dame's about to win. So how do you put Jackson Smolik in and not have him pass the ball? Like, Jackson Smolik's not this great runner. He's not like Will Levis. So if you're going to put him in and run the ball every single time, don't you think the defense is eventually going to catch on to that? Mm-hmm. And, but they did nothing to mix it up. It just made no sense at all. I don't see how these guys are these big-time coaches and they do such predictable things. It's always easy for us as fans to second-guess play calls whenever something doesn't work. But there's just so much mind-boggling things. Like, in the second half, they didn't screw around being as gimmicky. They just pounded the rock with Katron, and it worked. The first half, they pounded the rock, but he still was trying to be a little too gimmicky. But, I was reading the Nebraska message boards after they lost to Minnesota, and somebody on the Nebraska message board just made a good point. It said, with Minnesota, they know who they are. They know what they do well. They get big, beefed up linemen. They know how to run the ball, pound the rock. They're committed. That they don't get away from that because that's what they do well. And then they pick and choose and take their shots. Obviously, they're complaining about their own team. But this is what I'm saying about Penn State. Like, it goes back to not having an identity on offense. If at this stage in the game, you do not have a passing game, you haven't had a good passing game since like 2019, for God's sakes. So just be committed to the run. Be committed to pounding the rock with Katron Allen and taking your shots downfield. And for the love of God, why is Kyron Hudson in there? Why is even Trevor Pena? I mean, did you guys hear what I said at the beginning of the show? Oregon, UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa. The last 4 games, I think Hudson might have had 6 catches total. In 4 games, he might have 6 or 7 catches, something like that. That's atrocious. Oregon, Pena and Hudson combined. I just got to say this again. Combined, 2 catches versus Oregon, 7 catches versus UCLA, 3 catches versus Northwestern, 3 catches versus Iowa. Why are they in there? And then you hear the answers of, well, Denmark and Howard don't show enough in practice. Okay, but what are these guys showing in the games? They're showing nothing, absolutely nothing at all. It's like I said, it's remarkable that a team of like Penn State's caliber cannot have a basic, simple downfield passing attack. They can't for how many years now? That's all I got with that. It's sad.
Dead horse, yeah. I mean, at this point, we all are. Like, you're running it with Katron. We're running down the field, and then you do a gimmicky play that loses 3 yards, and then we're screwed. Like, you're doing, like, I don't. Cool, Nick. You saw yourself call plays this whole season, and you're continuing to do the same things that where you made mistakes at. You're doing the same crap. So
why are they doing a Luke Reynolds fake sneak? Like, that makes no sense. Run Katron. He's a monster. Katron Allen is, first of all, James Franklin, like I said, he showed his true colors today, but he absolutely screwed this program, and then he goes out and talks crap on it. Like, he is an absolute clown. But he totally screwed Katron Allen. I mean, he hired these coordinators, these atrocious coordinators. Katron Allen deserves better. He worked his tail off tonight. And then they put Singleton in on 3rd down and run it. And then they do a gimmicky Luke Reynolds freaking 4th and 1 sneak. Like,
The 4th and 1 to
Terry
Reynolds
Smith will have so much respect for me if he fires Kotelnicki. Like, Ty Howe can take over.
I don't think he's going to do that. I think because I think with firing Franklin and him taking over, just being thrown into the mix all of a sudden, I think he's going to think that's going to be putting too much on everybody else's plate where they already haven't, like after Franklin gone. But he'll at least be gone by the end of the year. I mean, he obviously won't be back next year. And this guy was a big candidate, Kotelnicki, for a head coaching job after last year. Now forget about it. But but the Luke Reynolds sneak is what I'm talking about. You're pounding the rock with Katron Allen. It's 4th and 1. You need a yard. Okay. So, the defense might load the box or whatever. Just give it to Katron. Put a lead blocker in like Iowa would, and you run Katron. Two things. Number one, it's the best play call you can. But, I don't know if 4th and 1 they're loading the box. But the thing is, it's the best possible play call in that scenario. And if it doesn't work, you don't look like a total clown as a coach trying to do gimmicky things. He tries to just be too crafty, too gimmicky, and he just way overdoes it. I don't know. I don't know. It's a sad situation. It's like it's a perfect storm of bad. It's the worst combination of an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator combined. It's the worst combination of defensive tackles and middle linebackers. Your middle of your defense is horrible. And it's probably the worst receiver. It's probably the worst receivers I could remember at Penn State. And I couldn't tell you how long. Maybe since the dark years of the early 2000s. Like, these guys are just bad.
Yeah.
The starters are. Minus Devontae Ross.
Yeah, Brian Johnson was like your best receiver back then, but
I think some of that's a scheme too. Like you said, they're not doing any. Whenever they did do an easy route concept to Ross, he did a good route. He gets like 11 yards or whatever. Like, you have to do more of that, dude. You're not putting them in positions to be successful. We've been talking about this all year. The receivers he's making them look worse than they really are. Like, right? Like, Kyron Hudson probably shouldn't be in there, but Trevor Pena is a good route runner, but you're not giving him solid routes to run because of the play calling. It's so bad. So
yeah,
you're making them look worse than they really are, and it's aggravating, man. As a fan, it's got to be aggravating for them. Just unreal, man.
Do you know what I mean about the crossers, though, Brett? Like, do you guys notice
slants,
that?
Crossers, all that stuff, yeah.
You don't, like, they had a nice play call. I think it was in the first half. It was either a third or fourth down where they ran. It looked like maybe like a little rub or a little. They screened off where they hit Devontae Ross on a quick little flare out.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah,
you don't see. But they're not a spread offense. They're not a power run offense. Sometimes they want to be a power run. They just don't know what they want to be. And it's not working. But I've watched so many games of just where they work the middle of the field. And I'm just thinking using the shallow crossers as an example. And I'm just trying to think back to that on a basic 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. You just have two guys crossing. You run a tight end up the seam, two guys crossing. You work the middle of the field. You run picks. You run rubs. You never see a double move. I'm just thinking back, like you just don't see that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's bad. Even
the fact, at least we didn't see Liam Clifford on the field tonight.
Liam Clifford?
Yeah, he's absolutely atrocious.
I didn't see him.
Bro, Dom is a north and south linebacker. He is not an east and west linebacker.
No.
I've played with guys in high school better than Dom DeLuca, and I'm from the middle of freaking nowhere. So,
yeah. And another thing about that with Noel's defense is that there's probably better, there's definitely more athletic linebackers. Like Wiley, Specca, I'm sure they're more athletic. But it's like kind of like the receivers, you keep hearing that they're not trusted to be in the right spots. They don't know this defense well enough, which is another symptom of Noel's defense because it is complex. It's like I said, it's a perfect storm of bad. It's just It's a perfect storm of bad. I don't even know what Amari Campbell did today. I didn't hear his name called at all. I didn't hear deny Dennis Sutton's name at all today either. I don't know. I like Yvonne Camacho. I don't know. Is Chaz Coleman banged up or something? If Jalen Harvey, my buddy I was watching the game with read that he was held out for disciplinary reasons. So Chaz Coleman was supposed to be like the number 3 DN. He's hardly playing at all now. I don't get it. I don't know.
Well, we know we have a real coach now as the head coach, not James Fraudlin. So, Jared, what was your thoughts on the game?
All right, before I do that, I need to tell you this journey that I just had to take with you guys. My internet is atrocious, okay? It's absolutely terrible, okay? So I decided to change routes to the room I was in to what I am in now, and it just kept doing it. I am plugged into my actual router, and it still didn't help anything. I am currently connected to the hotspot on my cell phone, which is sitting out on my porch that is connected to this so I can have outdoor 5G. Can you see me and hear me perfectly?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, real good, real clear.
Just do that for the rest of your life. Yeah, just live it.
This is the crap you have to put up with
Brett.
the deep
Rest of your
guys. Just giving you a heads up. If you ever
I'll
want
pay for the hotspot. Just send me the bill. Just do that.
I'm saying, don't live in the woods, okay? Don't do it. It's just awful. But anyway, this game, what I was saying before, with coaching, the tradition at Penn State has always been to button up and make sure that these guys are prepared. Defensive, offensive, all of them. It didn't matter if it was, you had these second stringers or these third star recruits, whatever. These guys were going to get you ready. They were going to absolutely prepare you for these games. And I feel like it's every single play, it's kind of a coin toss. All right, we're going to play this one. Nope, not the next one. It just seems like there is inconsistency I've never seen on Penn State's playing field. The way that Kolnicki and the way that Knowles conducts the game. And again, I know that there is also a 50-50 truly with this because you can't just say it's all about coaching because there was one play that it will be in my head. Me and my dad were watching this game together. And when we saw that one play with the Gronowski, the Iowa quarterback, he just ripped right through that hole. I am watching Dom DeLuca. He is basically getting hugged. It just looked like he was hugging the guy. It didn't even feel like he was putting him back. He just looked like the guy was doing that. And he's
lost out there. He's lost out there.
Dom just looks so bad. I mean, I don't know what to say more about it. It's crazy how that transpired where it's you saw how that was no effort. There was nothing that was going on with those players on those drives where the defense players, number 6, the one guy who just kind of tipped it in. You see that one play where he kind of spin moved around the guy. He had a hold of his jersey, hold him for a sec, but then he just kind of extended his arm into the top. That number 6 just went down with his one play. It looked like he was just doing that to get tackled. He went around his one other defender just so the guy could just walk in and score. I just don't understand where the mindset of these players are. But yeah, the play calling is just first and foremost some of the worst I have seen. With just the inconsistency, that's really where it comes down to. And again, we are going through such murky times. We're going through such inconsistent issues. And I know that it's tough. It's very tough. And I commend Grockenmeyer for trying to not completely lose that game. That really was a testament to how tough this kid is because, again, what I like about these types of games for him is that now he's battle tested. You don't get any worse than when you have to go into a hostile environment like Iowa to make your debut, basically. For you to have your full football game. I was very much actually impressed, despite the 2 interceptions. I was actually very impressed with how he collected himself, how he was able to control everybody's game planning. And, yeah, the whole issue with this game naturally comes down to every time you saw Katron rip off a 8, 10, 12-yard run, and then you just switch over to Jackson Solik and, do some random trick play. And it's just why are you going away from what is working? Why do you constantly feel the need to just say, we're going to trick you somehow? This play calling, once again, I just don't get it. It's all over the place. And I just know that in the past, it's always been everyone knew their assignment almost like a drill sergeant going into battle. And now it just seems like we're out doing some practice stuff on the playground, out in the yard. Like, just do what you think's right. I mean, you don't know. I mean,
Right.
Bro, why is our backup quarterback in the damn game? Like, and he's hurt now. So
this is what it comes down to. You lost to Iowa because you only used 50% of Iowa's game plan. If you use 100% of Iowa's game plan on offense, you win the freaking game by 10. Whenever you were doing Iowa's game plan, run the ball down somebody's throat, because we actually ran the ball better than them. They just had 2 big plays. If you do that the whole time, you're going away from it, dude. Like, it's common sense. Or what are you doing? It drove me nuts, like you're talking about, Jared. Like, just keep running with K-Tron. Okay, if he gets tripped up for a yard or 2, then you try something else. But you don't just try something else when that thing is working. Like, what are you doing? So, unbelievable, man. And when they put Keon Wiley in, Chris, when they did put Keon Wiley in, he made a play. Like, he played good.
He did. I don't know why they're coaching. So I mean, Terry went for a 4th and 5 right in the first possession. So I don't know why he's worried about playing other guys. Just let it all hang out at this point. But it's to what Jared is saying about how everybody was so ready. It all comes down to like execution, you know why Indiana, a reason they're so good? Yes, they have a very good quarterback and they have some good players, but it's not like they have these athletic studs all over. It's because they execute. The old Bill Belichick, do your job, just do your job. They execute at a high level. You could take a bunch of guys from James Madison where they came from, James Madison, that play together, that are all gelling and executing, and that will overcome and beat teams that are better athletes that don't execute as well. And that's where Penn State's issue is. And it's basically what Jared's saying. Like old Penn State teams in the 80s, 90s, like I pretty much grew up more so through the 90s watching them. They were so committed to the power run with counters, traps, sweeps, and you would just see a pulling guard, and it just – you would always see a hole. The hole was always there. Everybody got to their block. They got a hat on a hat. They executed. Same thing with like what I was saying about Minnesota, and the same thing with the defense. Like there was you don't see Iowa trying to like divert from what made them good, what their bread and butter is. It's just all comes down to just identify what you do best on offense, identify what you do best on defense, if anything, and execute. Just do what you do best. Don't vary from it. Don't get cute, and just execute. Execution's everything. And they're just lost in that regard. Trying to do too much,
It was pathetic. The offense. We're getting spammed really bad.
Dude, I was going to say, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean,
also,
all the comments, like, same thing.
But Mark
just ban. I don't know what happens if you ban them.
Mark assert or whatever. That's some funny stuff, though. You can just call us night church or church at night, man. You just go to church in the morning too. That's fine. But I guess this is church at night for Mark G. You guys see his comment?
Jared was preaching. He always does.
Yeah.
You should listen to his Steelers stuff, man. Mike Tomlin is James Franklin 2.0.
Oh.
He's horrible too. Freaking moron. They lost to the Bengals.
I'm sure he ripped.
But listen, at the end of the day, guys, like I give all the credit in the world to Terry Smith and these players.
Yes.
Andy Kotelnicki is an absolute clown. He lost us the game.
Yep.
Jim Knowles can't spy a running quarterback. Every fan out there watching that game, Iowa and Penn State, said Gronkowski, which he's not even close to Rob, but he's going to run the ball and he's going to have a 60-yard run and go to score, and then he's going to end the game with a run. We all knew that except for Jim Knowles, and his walkie-talkies aren't working, so you might want to change something, but they shouldn't have a job tomorrow. Poindexter should be the DC. Ty House should be the OC.
Yep. Literally, they let a guy
Chris,
who probably
Chris,
runs
I know
slower.
what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Chris. Like, it's kind of hard to do that right now, but Terry Smith and this team deserve all the credit in the world, and they deserve all of our support. Terry Smith, if he fires one of these coordinators tomorrow, he should be the head coach. Matt Rule is trash.
Jim Knowles let a quarterback who's slower than Zane Durant run for 120 yards. That's all. Like, I don't know how that happens, but Zane Durant has a quicker 40 time than Gronkowski. It's not even funny.
Nolan Ritchie has a faster 40 time.
It's unbelievable, dude. That was the slowest 50-yard run I've ever seen. It was just good blocking and terrible defensive line play. Just horrible.
And the tackling by the secondary tonight was not – it was lacking, man. Like, great. That long run that Gronkowski had, Elliott Washington just whiffed on him. Like,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, completely.
You know,
this does make you wonder. Sorry to interrupt you, Chris, but, it makes you wonder, like, how in the world did you base your, like, rankings at the beginning of the season? Like, how did you do that? Like, did you seriously look at our team in terms of talent, in terms of our coaching? Like, just based on coaching alone, it's like, how in the world did you even crack the top 25 at the beginning of the season? Like, I really am just baffled beyond belief. Like, again, I understand you have names on paper, and it's like in the beginning of the season, it doesn't matter. But really, just seeing what has all transpired, it is just mind-blowing that we were even ranked. Like, they have done absolutely nothing to show, like, how can we even compete with teams like Indiana or Ohio State, let alone, Oregon or Iowa. And
they have 3 wins against high school teams. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. You base it off the fact that you scored 46-11 to Nevada. You scored, you shut out FIU. I mean, great thumbs up on that one, guys. And I mean, let's not forget Villanova. I mean, listen, we all know Villanova is a great basketball school, but how in the world can you say that this entire team has done anything to grant any type of respect? I mean, I swear, you're basing it off of just the fact that these guys have the titles they've had. Like, Koldenecki came from where he did, came into Penn State. He had the cachet from all those years. And Jim Knoll, the coordinator, I mean, again, we all thought it was a steal, but now we're realizing that it was fool's gold. Like, we looked in the bag and we realized, crap, there's no money in here. They've given nothing but pieces of paper. They tricked us. Like, it's like Ohio State knew what they were doing when they just let them go. It was such trickery, guys. And it's just, I feel like I'm being so hoodwinked, bamboozled. There's no tent. The James Franklin and company got us into the tent, and it was like, there's nothing. The Barker brought us into the tent. There's nothing there. It's just, they fooled us. And I mean, I cannot believe how this whole season has transpired. I've never heard of a team or a university that has seen what they started with. And we were in the third quarter of the Oregon game. We were all on the biggest high because we were 3-3 tied, and all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, it's just like gone. I've never seen this. It's like a big mirage. It's like a big magic trick, and it's like everything. And that's just, we got nothing. We've got absolutely nothing.
Koldenecki's still trying magic tricks. They're just not working. So he's still trying. Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah, and now James Franklin got off with his money. I mean, seriously. I mean, the fact that I hear stories like he wants to sue Penn State on top of the fact that he's getting a $50-60 million buyout. Like, my goodness.
That's bullshit, those stories, though. That's AI bullshit that people saw on, like, Facebook and stuff. I don't think that's real at all. But the problem is, like, with Gronk moving forward, so he survived the battle, or, get tough test at Iowa but the problem is, I don't, with these receivers in this offense, I don't see the supporting cast to where it gets better. Like, I just think he's in such a tough situation. They got receivers that absolutely suck and can't get open. You got scheme that sucks. So I just think he's going to continue to struggle because of the situation he's in. Now, 2020, like I said, when things went south, and I know it was, they went south fast. Kirk Soraka, they simplified everything. He just ran a million slants. He just simplified things and did things that would work. Running Kevon Lee, this guy can't do that. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I said, it's just a combination of bad everything. And in no scheme, it's like, if you can't just have decent line. You got to have really good linebackers to make his scheme work. Mm-hmm. And these guys just clearly aren't it. I know DeLuca was horrible tonight, and he's been bad most of the year. But wasn't Amari Campbell done the last 2 games? I didn't even see him. Did he do anything this game? I just
wasn't great, no. But it's tough when your other guy's not playing well. I mean, you can't do everything, right? So you need a Tony Rojas to help you out and for you to help him out. But if there's no other guy, you're just running around in circles, fighting for your life, right? So, and I was telling Mark, or I don't know if I told Mark, Iowa's offensive line is very good. If you watch the film, they have a very good offensive line. So tonight wasn't surprising. I knew Iowa would push us around offensively because they have very good center, good right tackle. They just have Iowa offensive line is always good, but it's very good this year. I was telling Mark and Chris, actually, we'll see what you think about this, Jared. If Terry Smith does not get the head coaching job at the end of the season, Jeff Brom, welcome to Happy Valley, dude. Jeff Brom, welcome. Because he's getting it done. He does more with less. And he just beat Miami. So,
by the way, I usually don't chew gum on this podcast, but I put some in my mouth just to keep my nerves calm because I'm so mad right now. So this episode is sponsored by Mentos. Mentos White. That's what I was just putting in my mouth.
Extra peppermint.
The Jeff Brom thing, I would hire him in a second, but from everything I've seen, from what some people are saying on the message boards and that seem to know what they're talking about, that he'll never leave Louisville. I think he went to school there, or he's started there, something like that. I don't know, but everybody's saying he'll never leave Louisville. Yeah, I don't know who they're gonna. I have no idea who they're gonna hire. I really don't want it to be Matt Rule personally, but I don't. No. All these big name coaches that they want to go after are in really good situations right now. People are talking about Kalen DeBoer. Well, he's killing it right now. He ain't gonna leave Alabama. Derkowitz ain't. I mean, why would he leave Missouri? I don't. The only one I see as a potential is Joe Brady, and Joe Brady, I don't think long term would be good because he's an NFL guy. We just want to bounce back to NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out.
Interesting time to show up, Ohio State fans. Did you guys all call each other? Let's jump on Mark Lesko Podcast tonight. What's going on here?
Who?
Linda Jackson, Jeffrey, Ohio State fans.
People are talking about Brent Key. They're not even
We're down bad, guys, so you don't have to
listen. It's going to be Joe Brady, not Matt Rule anymore. It was his to take, and he lost against Minnesota, so screw him. Matt Campbell, Brent Key, Eric Morris should be considered. Deion Sanders, Matt Campbell, if I didn't say that, and then Urban Meyer. Here's the thing, man. I think Urban Meyer is way more serious. Could take this way more than we may think, but at the end of the day, man, Terry Smith should be considered too. I think if he fires the coordinators this week, at least one, he should be. Because dude, he was chewing Singleton out on the sideline. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I saw that.
He was chewing him out, man. He's a real coach.
Yes, sir.
He is a real coach.
That's what I've been looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, he called a good game, man. It just he needs to get Cole Nicky to stop doing some dumb shit.
Bro, when they showed him up close, his eyes were it looked like his eyes were watering. He was that fired up. It seemed.
I think he had Iowa allergies, man, because I have allergies bad, and his eyes were dripping all night, dude. He was having a rough time out there.
I don't know. I think he was just really fired up.
Yeah. Well, rightfully so, guys. I mean, it felt like we had a fresh start to do something after the Franklin firing. I mean, this is our first game without seeing any of the, let's show up, 1-0 texts anymore. I mean, I made a big stink on that with Facebook where I'm just so happy not to see any of that nonsense anymore. Again, I've been waiting for a long time for them to get back to real Penn State football, where I watch all the defenders, and as soon as that ball is snapped, I saw when I was a kid growing up, and most of the time in the 2000s, I just saw guys coming out of their tackles, and I just see their arms get so wide. And you just knew once their arms got wide, you knew the guy was going to get smothered. You knew the play was over. These defensive players, like, it just was done. Like, there was no chance that the other team was going to do anything. The only teams that, of course, did anything against us was maybe Ohio State or some high-ranked team we didn't play yet. So it was like you're just enjoying watching all these guys do what they did back in the day, and it's like a glimpse of its former self. It's just a shell. I'm not saying these guys are soft. It's just at the same time, it just there doesn't seem to be any fight there anymore. And again, that's very difficult. I can only imagine the test that you have as a head coach and as somebody like it's in a locker room or in a workout room. Anybody that has to kind of get you pumped, it's like getting pumped for what? Like this right here was it. Once we lost to Iowa, it just seemed like the defense was done. They just didn't feel like they wanted to be there anymore. Everything seems so deflated. And not saying that we don't have a season still, but what are you looking at? You're looking at maybe Rutgers. You're maybe looking at maybe Michigan State. Maybe. I mean, there's like 2 more wins basically, and you're looking at a 5-7 season. And if anyone had that on their bingo card, then you should go and cash your lottery ticket in now, because there was no way you could have determined that this team was going to go under 500 or worse. There's no way.
Jared, do you ever watch Steve Jones? You know who Steve Jones is, the longtime Penn State. You sound like him. That's
someone says this to me all the time. I keep hearing this from some people. I work in my one job, and I have a bunch of Penn State people. And they hear me talk to them. I'm explaining.
He was around forever with like announced Joe Paterno and pep rallies and stuff. But back to the head coach stuff is like Urban Meyer. Did you guys watch? I texted you guys the Zach Smith podcast. And, he has connections that Zach Smith, the former Ohio State guy, assistant coach that, whatever, abused his wife, got fired, whatever. But he said that even from a Penn State booster, from talks that Urban wanted the job, but a lot of the older boosters and some of the BOT members didn't want him because they wanted Rule. They didn't know if Urban would be a good fit. But Urban was supposedly considering it. Believe if how rumors are. Terry Smith is an extreme long shot. I mean, honestly, everything you hear from insiders and it's just in a couple of my contacts, it's an extreme long shot.
Makes sense.
He just
Matt Campbell. His name is dying out a little bit. But here's the thing from what I've seen, heard, and read from like supposed people that know. Kraft wants an established head coach guy that it could really like. He wants a big name guy that could recruit, knows the area, and I don't know why, but it just doesn't seem like the Matt Campbell talks are as big as they should. And to be of all the head coaches, like I said, between Marcus Freeman, Eli Dirkwas, Kalen DeBoer, between all of them, Matt Campbell is probably the guy that would most likely have a shot at leaving where he's at now over anyone, because all these other guys are in a good position. But it just seems like the Matt Campbell talks are not as – I don't know. It just seems like they're not there. It's such a fluid situation, and things could change over the next 3 weeks, though. You don't know what's going to happen, but –
there's a lot of time, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be Urban Meyer or Terry Smith, though. I really don't. I mean, I'd love to give Urban a shot, but I just don't think it's happening. On another note, I was watching the D tackles. I key on certain positions sometimes, and when Owen Wafel was in there, I don't think a defensive tackle could have got buried more than him. He was getting demolished. Like, he couldn't stand his ground at all.
He's young.
Yeah, our defensive line did not do their jobs tonight.
Wafel's a redshirt freshman, so he'll get better. Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys. Like, this roster, we could be looking at a totally different roster. We could lose guys. Grunt could leave. Our young defensive line could leave. Our young receivers should leave. But, we saw younger guys in there. We saw Keon Wiley, we saw Tyzier, we saw Kobe Howard. I mean, we saw a lot of good, younger talent in there. So that's good.
Did Denmark play? I didn't even notice Denmark in there that much. If he played at all,
he was in on a motion play that ended up being a handoff. That's the only play I saw for sure that he was in. But it's hard to pay attention all the time on who's playing.
Right.
Yeah, he was in more than one play, I think. Yeah.
A couple plays, maybe. I only saw Kobe Howard that one play. I didn't.
I just don't understand why they won't go to him. I remember 2-3 weeks ago, Franklin talking about about the young wide receivers, and he said Daniel Kudelnicki was pushing for Denmark to play, that he really likes them, and he's getting close. Well, Franklin's gone now. I mean, if Kudelnicki wants him to play, why isn't he? I don't get it. Like, if these starting receivers were giving you better production, I could say, okay, you're getting something now. You don't want to go these, but they're giving you nothing. Like, what do you have to lose? What are they giving you? They're nothing. They're giving you nothing.
Yeah, it's bad. Mark with the C. That's not how you spell the name Mark, bud. So you can sit this one out. It's not the correct spelling. Ohio State or Ohio Buckeye Mark. Yeah. It's not the correct spelling, bud.
Oh.
I did see some fight. J.R. Morris saying he saw some fight. I saw some fight out of the players, just not the coordinators at all. There was zero fight.
I guess I overstepped myself. I do apologize for making it sound like everybody on the team is like not showing up. I mean, I know that's not the case, but
I mean, Katron Allen.
But I'm saying for the most part, it just seems like it's still like the hangover. It still seems like we're just gonna have this tough transition, and for anybody who is on that field still trying to play the game, I mean, I commend you, because again, I'm not saying this was anything like it was 14 years ago, but I'm saying the way that you have to kind of pick yourselves up and still move on, I mean, and move forward, that I can only imagine these kinds of transitions. Like, you had everything going. Again, I brought up just a little earlier ago about being tied 3-3 in the third quarter against Oregon. It was like, it just takes like a couple more sequences for everything to go your way. And it's like, we're not even having these discussions. I feel like if you have a big win like that, your confidence goes completely up and your whole morale is just through the roof. Like, everything works. And sometimes that carries you through, even if you don't have the elite stuff that, like, the Ohio States and the Indiana. I know Indiana's like elite, but I'm saying, like, all these different playmakers that are making things happen, you feel better. And this right now just seems like we are just treading murky waters. We have a huge fog over us. Like, we're just trying to keep the ship afloat. And I feel bad for saying it like that, but yeah, it's not easy. And you just got to try your darndest to think that something good will be happening soon. But yeah, this right here is probably the most uncertain I have probably seen Penn State University be in such a long time.
Yeah. Franklin hired these coordinators. That alone should be reason to fire them. They're horrible. Franklin's a clown, and his coordinators are clowns. They made Gronkowski look like freaking Lamar Jackson tonight. So,
well, he couldn't throw a pass to save his life, but other than that,
yeah, dude,
it's terrible.
Hakeem the
he
Dream,
like a typical Iowa quarterback. Like
Pat Kraft should be fired.
But
why should Pat Kraft be fired? Hakeem the Dream.
That made no sense at all. He's probably a Franklin supporter.
Hakeem the Dream is the name from Last Chance U. Is that? Are you Hakeem the Dream Boyd? Kraft should be fired. He said it again. Okay.
Could you explain why you think Pat Kraft should be fired, Hakeem the Dream? I'd love to know that one.
I'm so happy to be Purdue.
So,
by the way,
that would be.
Oh, here's one for you. Let's have fun with this. What do you think the point spread will be versus Ohio State in 2 weeks? I think it's probably going to be around 15, 14, 15. It should be about 17, but I'll say around 16 or 17. It should be probably
like 10.5.
Wow. If it's 10.5, I'm going to mortgage my house and bet on Ohio State. I mean, that's insane to be like that. They're going to
You're talking about the Ohio State line? It's going to be like 16, man.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Probably.
I was thinking 17.5, but
I right around 17. I don't know. Like the way they're playing, I'd say about 17. If it's 10, if it's 10, I'm gonna go to a couple guys I know in Little Italy in New York City and some loan sharks and get a loan and say you don't have to worry, your money's coming back in a couple of weeks.
If Dom DeLuca doesn't play a snap against Ohio State, the line might be like 11. So we can probably. Yeah.
Dude, Dom DeLuca and Liam Clifford should be on the scout team. Like they are absolutely, they're just not good.
Terrible. Dude.
Like Sarah Jackson said on Landon's podcast, I think Liam and Sean have dirt on Franklin or something. That's why they're here. Like Liam Clifford should not be on the field at all. He should be a water boy. So his only phenomenal play all year was his lackluster route last week. So, and it only took Franklin like 6 days to come out and trash Penn State. Absolute clown he is. So,
is Hakeem the Dream Franklin? I think that is Franklin. Hey Frank, how we doing, buddy? What's up, Frankie boy?
Franklin,
how you feeling, bud?
Does he know? Like
he is so out of touch, man.
Hygrax is a freaking.
I don't know if he's trolling or what. Like the head coaches pick their own coaches in college. This isn't rare to like just Penn State in college football. Athletic directors will hire the head coach, but then the head coaches pick their own coaches. They pick their offensive coordinators. They pick their defensive coordinators. They fire their offensive coordinators. They fire their defensive coordinators. That's so. He didn't hire Franklin. Franklin was there, came the dream before Kraft came. He didn't hire Franklin. And coaches hire their own OCs and DCs, bring their own guys. So that is universal through college football. So how is that on Kraft? I give Kraft credit for ripping the Band-Aid off and getting rid of this clown as quick as he did.
Yeah.
Brett, you said that. So I posted on my story today Franklin's one quote, and I said, we're way better off. Brett, you said that we might be better off.
I said, we'll see. Yeah, because it depends on who we hire. That's what I mean. It could be a complete dumpster fire downfall, or it could be the same, or it could be better, but that's three options. We don't know which one of those options it's going to be until it happens. That's what I'm saying, because we none of us know. None of us know.
Yeah, his character alone, I think we're way better off, but, that was my point. But I know what you're saying, too.
Yeah, he's a politician, like Chris said, man. Like, I wasn't surprised. You were mad about the interview, and I get it. I wasn't mad about it because I knew exactly what to expect. We know them for 12 years. So that part wasn't surprising. It was a publicity stunt, like I commented on the video. Him and Saban have the same agent. Saban's not going to trash him on public television. Nobody working there is going to trash him on public television. They're going to try to stand up for him because he's a head coach. He got fired. He did a decent job with Penn State for a while. Had a really diabolical season. This is the worst season we've ever seen in Penn State history. For the expectations, it's not even close. We're 3-4 right now.
Yeah,
because of Franklin.
You know what I don't understand? We have Ohio State fans in here writing out their chant, which is a 4-letter word that some of them can't even spell.
Yeah.
Like if I was like, I would not go to a Penn State podcast and start chanting like we are. Like that's just weird. But welcome in anyway.
He spelled his name M-A-R-C. So what do you expect? The one high guy. Like,
I mean, it's like
I don't get. Ohio State has owned Penn State for a while. We've been close.
They're spoiled,
obviously, you're on top of us. You're really on top. Obviously, we're as down as can be. I mean, you want to come in and throw your weight around and talk crap. That's fine. I don't know what you get out of it. Like where I come from, I don't punch down. That's like when Penn State's good and I'm gonna like go on the Rutgers podcast and give them crap or something like that. What's the point? Like go, punch up. Focus on beating Michigan. I mean, yes, you own us right now. We suck. We're down. What does that do for you to come in here to?
Yeah, we punch. I punch back. We punch back on this podcast, and
Yeah, Linda. I feel like Linda should be sleeping on a rocking chair right now. So at this point, that's an older name.
A lot of you Ohio
She
State
passed
fans. A lot of you Ohio State fans don't even have your GEDs, and you can't even spell GED. So that's another thing. But OHNO JR. Oh man. Yeah, man. I know what you're saying.
Let me ask you this, Mark. Let me ask you these guys. Where would you put Penn State in the Big Ten right now? In terms of like if Ohio State is number one and Rutgers is dead last, where do you put us at?
I put us at like 17, right? We have 18 teams, right?
I think.
Well,
UCLA was the bottom of the barrel for a while.
Yeah.
We haven't won a game.
With Grunk as our quarterback,
we're
Terry
tied
Smith
for last.
As our coach. Yeah, we don't really know right now, but yeah, right now we got to be at the bottom. We lost to the worst team in the Big Ten. But
maybe above Rutgers, maybe above Maryland. That's it, really.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying we didn't have any smack or like you should try to talk anything up. I mean, we always like knowing that we have the cachet in terms of our name. We always like know that Penn State's a name that everybody likes to throw out. But you're talking Ohio State. Everyone knows these guys from the 60s and 70s with Alabama. Everyone knows in this world of college football, if your name isn't Ohio State or Alabama, it doesn't matter because you're either going to be in the conversation for the national championship or you're always going to be talked about in the highest praise. I know that ESPN has about 90% graduates from Ohio State, so that's why you always hear all of the big talk, and everyone's from Cleveland, so I understand the Ohio teams get all the much love, which is why Cleveland, I think, always gets their Browns always get their, like, they're in the conversation every year, and ESPN, it's like, are you out of your minds? Like, there's no way that you would say that those things are true, but that's really what it comes from. I mean, it's always about where you come from, and Ohio State has a lot of graduates that know that they're always going to be in the conversation. It's just kind of like
well, right now they are like
life without air, and it's like you can't have Ohio State not in the conversation. You can't have Alabama not in the conversation. I mean, is there a name right now that is not Georgia or Oregon that you say, like, okay, there's the other teams. Like, we're always talking about the top 10 list all the time. And I just seem like we always think we're going to crack the top 10. But I never feel like I have the right to be on the same field as those other teams. I really, as a Penn State fan, never feel that. Never. I mean, the one time that we came close, I want to say it was probably 2016 when we were denied the national championship. And they chose Ohio State instead. Because, again, it's Ohio State. That's the only reason why I felt like they got in the conversation for the first national championship over us because, we lost to Michigan what was that one loss that year?
Oh, 2016. Yeah. Michigan and Pitt. Yeah.
Like it was just like, they were so close to it. But yet again, I just feel like there's a lot of humble pie that we have to kind of insert right now, just a little bit, because again, the situation is just not good. Everywhere you look, it's like, well, we need to replace this, but this needs to be done. I mean, it's just like all the holes in the the finger in the dike thing, like everything is just like spreading out. We're just trying to keep the thing from completely, overflowing and the burst. And it's just, I don't know, guys. It seems like there's a lot to clean up. And as of right now, we're 0-4 in the Big Ten. We can't say that we're better than UCLA or Rutgers right now. Like it's a tough situation.
Can't you see it better Northwestern?
I don't even know. I don't even know if we're going to beat Rutgers. But just quick point, Jared. Like I said years ago, the Big Ten would be the dominant conference over the SEC. They clearly are right now. Number one team, last two champions are Big Ten. Ohio State fans are spoiled, and they won't be on top forever. And they talk crap. Like they're in my comments. Like, dude, this one guy, I can't remember his name. I blocked him on TikTok, but he literally looked like something out of like a combination of Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. And he was like laughing on one of my posts. I'm like, and I was going to say like, dude, the way you look, you shouldn't be laughing at anybody. But they won't be on top forever. And all this crap that they talk, it means nothing. Like they're just spoiled. They're not real fans. So, but all right. J.R. Morris said, "Why do Penn State fans hang on to Joe Pa's legacy?" Well, man, he's the greatest coach to ever live. So that's, and that's the standard. He set the standard here. Penn State and the Pennsylvania economy, first of all, Central PA and State College would be, I don't know what it would be without Joe Paterno. And the Pennsylvania economy was literally boosted because of Joe Paterno. So that's the standard, man. That's the standard that everyone should live to. It's him and Nick Saban. That's the standard. So that's why we cling on to that. And that's the last time we won a national title.
You know what I think? And I just asked JR how old he is. And I'm not asking that in a rude way that he's asking a dumb question or anything. But I've seen guys on the message board do this, try to compare Joe's top 12 first 12 years to Franklin's first 12 like they were comparable. And I think that a lot of these younger guys, they saw the end of Joe Paterno. Like when you're seeing if you're seeing your 20s, 30s, and you're seeing from like basically the late 90s, 2000s on, you're seeing the worst of him. People don't realize how great he was, like from when he took over. I mean, in his second year, he went back-to-back undefeated seasons. I mean, then he went undefeated again in the mid-70s. He went undefeated. He won 2 national championships in the 80s. Went to another one. He went to 3 national championships in the 80s. Won 2 of them. He had an undefeated season in '94. I mean, the guy honestly should have had 4 or 5 more national championships, or 4 more, I think it was. How many undefeated seasons do you have? You had 2, 3, 4. I mean, he easily should have had 4 more national championships. And you felt confidence with Joe going into a top game. Did he win them all? No, but you felt confident. You knew your team was going to be ready. You knew they were going to be prepared. At the end, he fizzled out and he stayed too long. But,
that was without strength and conditioning, basically. Like that was without.
Some of these guys are younger, they don't realize.
Yeah, exactly. Like, under Joe, one thing that he did wrong was he had JT doing the 3 sets till failure. That was absolutely atrocious. Did not correlate to the football field at all. But the undefeated seasons that he had, and Ohio State says they have 9 national titles. Like they're totally spoiled. And Joe lost in 79, lost in 85 to Brian and the Boz, Oklahoma, won in 82 and 86. Could have won. He could if it went well. 94 they should have been. They technically were co-number ones, but could have won it then. Could have won it in 97, 99, 05, and 08. They could have won all those years. They just dropped the game here and there. So even in his later years, man, 2011, his last year, if they had a decent quarterback, that was a very good team. Their quarterbacking was horrendous, and they lost to Alabama at home. And that was their only loss going into Nebraska. And the Nebraska game was the week after he got fired. That team was really good. And that was his last season. So Joe was consistent across the board throughout the years. And all those 9 national titles that Ohio State fans claim, half of those don't even count because the president used to pick them and he didn't know anything about football. So,
you mean didn't win from 87?
Yeah. Do people realize that story? Like, I think there's a lot of people here that don't even know about that. Like,
JR,
unfortunately, back in the day, it wasn't like.
Look at it. He just said they didn't win.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering.
Did you hear what I just said? They went undefeated in 94. Did you hear what I just said?
97 was a good season too, right? 97.
Yeah, 97, 99.
They beat Ohio State. They won more. Listen. JR, in 1994, I was a senior in high school, okay, that was arguably the best offense in college football history. Now a lot more have come before that. But that 94 team, Kajana Carter was Saquon Barkley before Saquon Barkley. Do I think Kajana Carter was better overall? No. But, he was that good. That offense in 1994, I don't know if this has ever been done before. Every single starter and even some of the backups on that offense were on an NFL roster. So
they average 60 points a game, dude.
They could average like 60 a game if you didn't call off the Dogs. Like, do you know? Like, it was insane how good they were. Games were over at halftime. Yeah. And he ran a simple generic offense. I mean, there are holes. Like, Kajana Carter would get a count or a sweep, and it just never got caught from behind. They almost had 2,000-yard receivers with they had really good years. And the thing I noticed with guys that question Paterno, they're always cherry picking certain years or certain time frames. I don't listen. You give me Joe Paterno, 1987 to 2000. Well, I wouldn't want him so as much in the 2000. Those dark years suck. But from 2005 on, he was good. You exclude 2000 and 2004. But you give me him 87 right through up to the 2000s. I'll take that any day over what we had in Franklin. I'll take what we have now.
Yeah, he was the winningest coach of all time. And, like I said, I've said this a million times. Going into games with Joe, you knew you could win any game. Going into games with Franklin, you knew you could lose any game. Going into games now with Terry Smith, you have a chance to win because he's a real coach. So
yeah, like JR, you're like when you're saying we're holding on, we're not. First of all, I think 94 is as special to me as any year.
Every program does.
And they had two other times in the 90s. You had two teams finish undefeated that shared the national championship. They had pity for Tom Osborne, therefore they gave the 94 championship to Tom Osborne. It was ridiculous. I mean, that Penn State team was unstoppable. And if they played Nebraska, it would have probably been a great game. I think Penn State would have won because that offense was unstoppable. And I don't – there's not holding on to anything. The thing with Joe Paterno is like I said, Mark just said it. In the 90s, he beat Ohio State. He didn't beat them all the time. He struggled at times versus Michigan, but he beat Ohio State. You knew with Joe Paterno going into bowls versus Tennessee when Tennessee was good, Auburn, he just beat everybody. I don't think there's a top team in Joe's career he didn't beat. Like, it's not cherry picking or hanging on. But the reason people are saying, why are we you think we're hanging on? Because there's people that bring Paterno up a lot for some reason with this comparison to Franklin. I don't know why, and I'm not saying you're doing that, JR. But the reason is because the confidence in Franklin in big games was shot. It wasn't there. You knew with at least Joe, you had a shot in a top game. He beat Notre Dame. He beat everybody. The guy's bowl record was incredible. They used to say if you give Joe enough time to prepare for a game, you're cooked. And you look at his bowl record, it was great. You give Franklin enough time to prepare for a game, and he's flying around in a friggin' helicopter. That's
Franklin's an absolute clown, and he showed his true colors today. And like I said, I'll preach that till I die.
Nebraska wouldn't have beat Penn State.
Whatever school out there hires James Franklin, you guys, that whole school needs to be demolished and not exist anymore. If you're dumb enough to fall for his BS, bro, he's just out there trying to get a job. He's so desperate. That's why he did that today. But
the thing is, if somebody like Virginia Tech hires him, or they'll have a statue of him outside. But that's what I'm saying.
In '69, when Joe told Nixon to shove it, they used to bid on bowl games. That's why the Ohio State thing is so funny, because they don't count. But '69, you used to bid on games, and for whatever reason, I think it was '69, they were undefeated. They bid on the wrong bowl, and then that was considered the national championship, the one they didn't get in, and then they weren't considered national. Back then, 97, they didn't even have a national champion technically. It was between Michigan and someone else. They didn't even have a national title back in '97.
Nebraska.
They just pretty much gave it to Michigan.
Wasn't Notre Dame big in the 90s too?
I don't know.
JR, this is what other people do. I literally had this ongoing argument with this one guy on the message board. He's saying 94 bowls aren't comparable to 2025. And I assume you just mean 90s in general. Why aren't they? Of course, teams today are like, athletes evolve, they get bigger, stronger, faster. So of course athletes today are better than what they were in the 80s or 90s, but so are Penn State athletes.
It's
so
just faster. They're faster.
I don't get they're big. I mean, offensive lines are bigger. I don't get I just don't. Well, opt-outs and playoffs, that's something that's different. There's no, opt-outs didn't start until 3-4 years ago. You still, I did, like, people try to say, like, somebody would argue with me, well, Joe beating Ohio State in the 90s isn't as good as Ohio State today. Well, no shit. No shit. I mean, the players are bigger. Like, it's not, that's like saying an NFL team that the Steelers team from the 70s isn't as good as the Eagles of the 2020s. Well, no crap. I don't mean Steel, just any, NFL team. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get that whole of why people make that argument. It's this guy in the message board was trying to say, oh, well, this guy in the message board was literally arguing with me that James Franklin's first 12 years were just as good when you put everything into perspective as Joe Paterno's first 12 years, when Joe went undefeated 3 years. Three seasons, back to back. He said, well, he didn't play as good at teams. Kansas was like the 6th ranked team in the country. He beat them. I think Oklahoma, Missouri. He beat a bunch of top 10 teams. What are you going to say? Well, Missouri in 1960 is not as good as Ohio State now. Well, no, I don't think guys that had offensive linemen that weighed 250 pounds were going to hold up today. I just.
Bro, you know what's funny? Kirk Ferentz, the absolute clown that he is, he was getting interviewed after the game. He's been coaching since they were letting animals off the ark. And he's talking about how great his team is, how great his quarterback is. Kirk Ferentz, you just beat Terry Smith, his first game as a head coach, by 1 at home. Your team is atrocious, okay? And you're talking about how tough your team is. Your team is an absolute joke, all right? And you know what? If shit didn't hit the fan this year, we had 1 loss to Oregon or undefeated, we're probably not losing that game. But, our team, I give them all the credit in the world. I mean, but Kirk Ferentz is a clown.
I got to step in and say something here. Danny Gallagher, I'm sure you're a nice guy, but comparing LeBron to Jordan, I don't think it's the same. I know different eras. I don't think it matters. LeBron James couldn't shine Michael Jordan's shoes on his best.
LeBron James is a clown.
Listen,
him and Franklin should coach.
That isn't. I don't even put LeBron number 2. I would put Kobe number 2. I'd put well over. LeBron James was a great player. Bro. LeBron bowed out in so many big games. He came up so short, had half-assed effort, where Jordan had such a killer instinct that there was not a bigger killer instinct competitor that rose above than any other human being like Michael Jordan. LeBron James, there's times he rose above, and there's times he went down here. Do you know when Michael? I'm not going to go on as a Penn State thing. I'm not going to go on. Do you know when Jordan's runs when the 6 years he won the title? In those 6 years when they had the playoff, they had 24 playoff series. In those, he went undefeated. Out of 24 total playoff series, do you know how many times the team took them to a game 7? Twice. There was twice. Two times that I remember. The Pacers.
You talk about the finals?
No, not the finals. I'm talking about the 6 years he went undefeated. I'm talking about every playoff series in those 6 years. So if you take like 92 or whenever started, 92, 93, and you go like, the first series, second series, Eastern Championship, he had 24 total playoff series, and only twice that I remember did teams, twice out of 24 times did a team take him to game 7. LeBron James is not. That's not. Their names don't belong together. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. LeBron James, he was called the chosen one for example. Michael Jordan didn't even make his freshman basketball team. All right, Michael. Okay, let's put it in terms of getting girls. The guy who is 6 for 6 with girls at the club, and the other guy's 4 for 11. The 6 for 6 guy is better, and he never made it past the game 6 in the finals, and he went 3 for 3. Yes. He went 3 in a row, retired 3 in a row. Okay, LeBron James can't even, like Chris just said, can't even shine his shoes. He's a clown. Okay, the most gifted athlete probably to ever walk the face of the earth, and all he does is just say stupid stuff constantly. He sits out games. I mean, he's a clown. Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah, I never had that load management crap back in the day.
I'm going to take a stab at this in a sense. Like, I'm not going to preach again, but I just feel like I got one coming on. I want to get on my soapbox a little bit for it, where if you look at what the landscape of just the world is right now, if you're comparing guys 30, 40 years ago, if you look back 30, 40 years ago, let's put it in the sense of technology. You had the crappiest computers. You had NESs. You had SNESs. You had Sega Genesis. You had a walkie. You had the Walkman. Like, you had how many things in your life to distract you? You had maybe 4 or 5 things, generally. And a lot of them, you couldn't leave your house with. You had to be in a house in order to use those things because you couldn't actually travel around with them. I just feel like in this day today, we are we're just so connected with this. I mean, again, we're using this podcast right now to do this with each other, but I'm saying there's just something that about, like, with a screen and the mobile, and it just seems like that's something that once you put it down and look around, it just seems like I lost about 4 or 5 days or something. It just seems like we're always constantly getting in the way of something that keeps you focused. And it seems like these players, once they're on the field, it's like, how are they not, like, thinking about 5 other different things when they're on the field? Like, back in the day, you were focused on that. That was the one thing you were taking care of that day, and that was what you worried about for the whole week. Now it seems like you're carrying around everything at one point an hourly basis. Like, in 1 hour, you're taking care of these 5 things, and then another hour, you're taking care of another 5 things. I mean, I just feel like in this day and age, it's not to say that it's harder to stay focused and to, like, be the best, but there's just something about when you look back in that day, it was glorious to watch, like, icons and big figures, because you didn't have to worry about anything. All you had to worry about was the thing that they were doing. And now these days and age, I mean, what are you looking at? Your biggest figure is Patrick Mahomes, maybe. And you have how many, Super Bowls, but how many commercials do you do? How many endorsements do you have? Like, and it just seems like we're seeing him everywhere now. I mean, again, that was the case back then too, but it just, there's something about, like, the platform in which we carry guys and how we compare them. It's like, guys, if you don't have these distractions today, I bet you could probably do just as good as you did with those guys back in the day. But again, our values are changing. Everything keeps going at a different pace. And you try your darndest to, like, know what's important to focus on. That's what you said.
Cook, Jared, cook it up.
To go off Jared Allen's point, we're sounding like the View jumping all over. But to bring it back into college football, like, there's a lot of distractions, man. And there's all these half-naked girls on Instagram. It's like, it's just saturated with stupid stuff. Yeah. And then you have, Patrick Mahomes is like an idol. I mean, the guy sounds like Kermit. And Dylan Raiola is like trying to mimic him, and he's an absolute clown too. So it's just, there's a lot of distraction, man. Like, we live in a jersey swap era, okay? Even I played football 14 years ago, bro. The game is so different now. Like, to think back in the day that you would swap a jersey with someone you just tried to kill after a game is absolute. Like, these NFL guys, they're shaking hands in the middle of the game, hitting each other on the back, swapping jerseys at the end. Today's sports are a mockery of what they used to be. Okay, and but anyway.
And the Raiders used to be good in the 2000s. They used to be good. We're so bad now.
Mike Tomlin used to blow games, and he still does. So,
well, like, where I live, and it's kind of connected to what you're saying. I like football in my area. I live in, like, northeastern PA in the Wilkes-Barre area. I went to Wyoming Valley West, and we always used to have pretty good football up here. It wasn't great or the best in the state, but it was decent back in the day, 90s through the 2000s. Now it's horrible. Like our high school sucks. And I would drive by in the early mid 2000s because I live right near the stadium. I would drive by and you would see like 70, 80 kids on a varsity team, like big kids that were built. It looked like a good, solid football team. Now I drive by and instead of seeing like what looks like 70 kids on look big kids, it looks like it's 25 kids and the varsity team looks like a freshman team. Like the best kids don't go out. The interest isn't there.
They don't drink milk anymore, man. Like people don't drink milk anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's just not the same, but in Catholic schools, everybody, a lot of the best players transfer out.
Murray York told me the other night he's 60. We had concussion protocols, but I had 3 registered concussions. And one of them, like literally, I didn't even know where I was. I blacked out totally. But that's just 3 registered. I had more than that. So, Ryan Clark said that this one play when he was playing for the Redskins, that he hit a guy and he blacked out and his eyes were watering. He couldn't see and he just kept playing. I mean, honestly, man, I can't tell you how many times where I hit someone playing football and my eyes were watering, like I blacked out. And you just don't really think about it, honestly. Like you just keep playing, it's literally every play that I thinking back, every time I hit someone, you black out. So is that a concussion? Because if that's a concussion, then I had like 400 concussions.
Well, I think I had a concussion in the fourth quarter tonight because I blacked out against Iowa. I'll tell you.
3-finger brown.
I blacked out in a rage. I was angry.
I'd like to black out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I think Jared said blacking out before the game is the only way to watch it. So
this might be a good time to relapse, guys. It's been 10 years, but I think I'm about over the edge. I'm kidding. I'm not.
No, God. And again, guys,
Brett,
I do want to apologize for rambling like I do. I do hate that I get off topic like this. But again, you're talking about tonight's game being us versus Iowa, and we watched them 1 point win us like we just lit last week. We had 22-21 Northwestern. We have 2 back-to-back 1-point losses that could have gone our way, but didn't. And then again, you get off on these tangents. You try to figure out where all the messages in the universe are coming from. How do you get back to this point, to talk about it? But we're just trying to find answers, I think. We're just trying to just enjoy getting through these tough times because, again, I think this is how it's really going to be for a while with Penn State because, again, we just don't know where we're going. We don't know what's going on. We're just trying to find our footing. And it's a season that's all lost, and we're just trying to have a good time with it. This is my opinion.
They're going to hit the portal hard. Whoever the new coach is, he almost has to hit the portal hard. And they're going to spend money. I mean, that's when Pat Kraft made very clear that he wants this next guy to – he's going to back them. Yeah. He wants them to attain talent. They got the best NIL they've had ever yet with Adidas, more supporters, it seems. And they're going to go out and get some boys. I mean, it's going to be a completely different roster and hopefully for the better.
Yep. Yeah. Darniak's right, too. Andy K not only he blacked out officially when that play calling in the fourth quarter, man, like Terry needs to tell him, we're not in Kansas anymore, dude. You're not in Kansas anymore. You can't. Yeah. Is your head in Kansas? Because we're in Iowa right now, dude. You can't do this. Like I don't.
He needs to take his IHOP menu, replace it with a play sheet, and say this is what you're going to call. Bro, Terry Smith. I feel I am so excited for him and Ethan Ruckmeyer. Like tonight, we saw phenomenal football. Like we saw a great football performance. Well, the only thing we saw that was bad was you can't spy a QB because the defense coordinator is, I don't know where he's at, and the OC is holding an IHOP menu, and he's calling, I don't know. Like I swear to God, he gets his plays from I think his play sheet is written with crayon. Like it's just like let's put Luke Reynolds in there and make it look fancy. It's like on 4th and 1. It's like, bro, if I'm Katron Allen, I would just quit the team. Like I'd be like, you guys are horrendous. You guys.
He's playing for
dude. You know how many extra yards he got tonight after he was hit the first time?
That's what he does.
He's good. His PFF grade's going to be insane, astronomical. And
Bro,
Cole Nicky's talking about making blizzards. He's sucking down a vanilla ice cream cone right now. He's full of shit. So I don't want to hear it, dude. He's talking
bro,
about
he looked
blizzards
like
and all
Jerome
this.
Bettis tonight, man.
There were
He
no
looked like
Reese's
Jerome
out
Bettis.
there, bro. It was just vanilla.
Katron Allen had a phenomenal game, man.
You know, I looked at. I think I got it all figured out now. Because I saw Coddle Nicky a couple of times at these NIL events, and he's like the short little fat kid. You know, like
is he short?
And so I mean, he looks short and like fat to me. I'm fat, but I'm not that short. But like, I think because he's like the kid that got picked last in gym class every day, he had to scheme up these little trick plays and shit to get by in dodgeball and shit. I think that's where it comes from. I'm just kind of joking, but you know,
we're not like making fun of the guy the way he looks and stuff.
It's just
like
joking
that.
around.
We're just joking around, but Katron had 145 yards alone tonight and 2 touchdowns, and our leading receiver was 19 yards. So
I got a friend that looks like Fred Flintstone. There's a guy named Dan Swanik. He looks like Fred Flintstone.
I could have got us 19 yards, guys. I'm 5'8". I would have ripped it up. I'm telling you. I'm probably slower than Zane Durant. I would have got us 25 yards. Like, this is horseshit.
Here's the thing too. Like,
it's bad.
Like, our receivers don't deserve this either. Our receivers are not being schemed well at all. And if you see a lack of effort, it's because the coaching is just pissing them off.
Devontae Ross looks good. He's just not getting good play calling, man.
No.
And you know another thing, I don't know if you guys noticed who I'm very disappointed in this year. I had high hopes for is Luke Reynolds, who I think is, can still be a decent receiver. His blocking is atrocious.
He's completely missing it. Yeah, he's missing it completely.
Oh my God, is he bad at blocking? Like,
by
that's
the way, we haven't.
Getting back to like that, like JR, you brought Paterno. That stuff you wouldn't see. That type of poor fundamentals you wouldn't see under Joe Paterno. Just basic blocking. They're fullbacks, they're tight ends. Everybody was sound fundamentally, a hat on a hat. They weren't missing blocks. Like, that's just another example.
Yeah, bro. Trey Wallace, freaking, he did well today. He's doing good at Ole Miss. I
wish you would have stayed.
I said last year, I told you guys when I first met you guys that all this talks about the wide receivers last year, it wasn't the wide receivers as much as it was Drew. I know you guys were bigger Drew fans than me, but these, you have Harrison Wallace runs a 6'1", runs a low 4'4". Mari Evans is a deep guy, could get open. He's like maybe like another Devontae Ross, I guess. Probably faster than Ross. Ross is more quicker than fast.
Yeah.
Even back to Lambert Smith was good. He lit it up at Oregon. Like, these receivers were better. And Mike Yurcik, when he first came, he was made to use 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. It wasn't his real offense. Everything was like it looked like different than Coddle Nicky's, but it was not a spread offense. It was the anti-spread when you had these good receivers that could get open downfield. And then you go to Coddle Nicky, who used Tyler Warren to make him look better than what he was as an OC, and then you these receivers leave, and you go out and get guys that are downgrades, not upgrades. I told everybody, he's not these receivers. The receivers last year were better.
I'm really confident in Grunk because his first game as a starter was on the road. Yes. One of the touchdowns was not his. Well, really, neither of the touchdowns were his fault technically, but. I don't put a lot of thought into that, man. Like, and if any of you out there, first of all, are defending Franklin and saying that was a great interview, you're morons. And I saw a lot of you on Instagram. You're absolutely clowns. And if any of you are out there are criticizing Terry Smith or Grunkmeyer right now, I think you're a moron for that too. By the way, I haven't seen too many more Ohio State chants in here, by the way. So.
JR, his stat sheet is because of Coddle Nicky. It's not because of him.
Bro,
so just go watch film, dude, because that's
Grunkmeyer made at least 5 plays that I can remember tonight that should have been totally broken, and he just made a play out of it. I mean, even the last play, man, that was a pretty good throw from where he was. He had 3 guys coming at him, twists around, throws it up, and he almost hit his open receiver, you know?
How was that not pass interference? Can you explain that one to me?
So that one wasn't that bad. The one against Devontae Ross in the first half was diabolically
Did we
miscalled.
have we got a lot of calls.
And targeting? No targeting call? Are you serious?
I don't think we had a penalty against us tonight.
Bro, we had so many calls go our way. It was crazy. Like the refs
I don't remember a penalty against us.
But
we had luck with some of the calls, but I'm saying there were calls that should have been made too.
Well, that one play. I want to say it was that one play that was supposed to be for Ross, but it was a pass interference, and that was the one that got Catron in for the touchdown. I think it was like 21-10. That was the touchdown. Yeah, we had a pass interference call for that. So
yeah, so like John O'Neill, for example, thank God he retired. Like back in the day, man, John O'Neill literally hated Penn State so much. Like he used to bring it. He hated Joe Paterno. He hated Penn State. He tweeted out we should have gotten the death penalty. Like he'd be in the middle of a game. He'd bring out Joe's gravestone and give us 15 yards. Be like, Joe Paterno existed, 15 yards. So, tonight, like the refs tonight, they weren't like – they gave us a lot of calls, but, man, there was some they missed too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they were just kind of letting them play. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, Todd Edwards, that was Grunkmeyer's first start at Iowa, and you're calling him Junkmeyer? Get the hell out of here, dude. You're out of your mind.
He doesn't watch Penn State. Todd's a buddy of mine. He texted me because he keeps texting me through the night. I haven't been responding because I had company over. So I said, I'm on a podcast now. He goes, oh, send it to me. He didn't even watch. He doesn't even know who Grunkenmeyer is.
Well, then, yeah.
He doesn't even know who he is. He's just screwing around.
The stat sheet does not. The stat sheet does not say the picture. I mean, like Catron, bro, 145 yards. Like he ran for like 400 yards. Like that's how hard he ran tonight. So again, like, and they put in Singleton on third down, bro. Third down call tonight and with Singleton in, to me that goes down as one of the worst calls I've ever seen in football. I mean, an absolute clown calls that. Kotelnicki.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Like, what is your malfunction in your brain that you put in Nick Singleton on third down and then you run it with Singleton, who is not good? Like, can any of you guys answer me why they did that?
I mean, at least he ran. At least Terry ran Catron and didn't run Singleton as much.
He did.
Way more. Yeah.
Like here's another example. So now that you want to get Nick like playing time, and he's supposed to be used in the passing game more. Where are the wheel routes? Where are the wheel? If you want to use Nick Singleton, use his speed. Where's a wheel route to Nick Singleton? Yeah. Where's getting him matched up? Like Kotelnicki's this crafty play caller. Where's getting Nick Singleton matched up with a linebacker where he could just beat him one-on-one? Like it's not. I don't know. It sucks, man. Guys, I'm gonna roll. It's getting late. Give me a shout, man. I might go see my buddy Todd. He's always depressed, so. But I'm just as depressed. So.
Have a good one, Todd.
All right, take care, guys.
Later, Chris.
Danny Gallagher says Grunk wasn't developed. He's a redshirt freshman, man. I don't really know what to tell you.
Well, yeah, and he had James Franklin as his coach.
Exactly. Once he gets a new coach, he's going to be fine, dude. He's got a cannon.
James Franklin's going to James Madison. He's going to ruin a QB there we never heard of, too. So,
I mean, what's the head coach for the Missouri?
Drinkwitz. We can get Drinkwitz. I wouldn't be mad.
No, I'm saying, like, you watch what Bro Preview is doing right now in Missouri. I mean, didn't they beat Auburn tonight?
Did they win? I saw it was tied. Let me see.
Not one screen to Singleton. That's another good point. Like, we didn't.
They won in overtime.
Missouri.
Bro, here's the thing. I just want to say this about Terry Smith, too. Like, he's the head coach. Yep. He let the coaches call the play. He let the coaches coach tonight. But what he'll do is he's going to look at it and he's going to make changes. Like, bro, Terry Smith ain't messing around, man. He's a real coach.
Listen, all I wanted from the coach was for him to pull someone in and just kind of get in their face. And when you pointed out that he got into Singleton's face, that's all I want to see. I want to see a coach who actually wants you to make adjustments in the middle of the game.
He was chewing him out, man, because I think he was mad that he wasn't going back in. It's like Singleton, like, bro, you are not it, man. Seriously.
Guys, I gotta sleep, dude. My eyes are wrecked.
Yep.
It's getting late. But
all right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight. Please subscribe if you haven't. We've gone up what, Brett? We've gone up what, 30 subscribers since like Friday or something.
We've gone up like 150 since like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we started at like 650 before Oregon, and now we're at like 803. It's insane.
And you guys will be able to support us. You guys will be able to support us on here soon. So we finally hit that milestone. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Jared,
you guys.
Brett, Chris, thanks for coming on. And Terry Smith, we believe in you. You're the man. Grunk, we believe in you. You're an awesome quarterback. And we're behind you guys 100%. You have made us excited about Penn State football again. And we have a head coach again for the first time in 12 years. So thank God for that. Anything else?
We're good.
Brett,
Penn State.
Brett, are you sure? Brett, are you sure you want to get off right now?
I'm dead, dude. Yeah, I gotta work in the morning.
All right, guys.
We are Penn State.
See you guys.